guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial on this eye look right here. I decided to do something different today and step out of my comfort zone and kind of use more neutral, cool tones on the eyes instead of going to my warm browns. I used all Makeup Geek eyeshadows to complete today's eye look. These are all singles that I picked by myself and created my own custom palette with. So that's what I have going on the eyes, and if you guys are curious to see how I created this look, then go ahead and keep on watching. So to start off this look, I'm taking Vanilla Bean and I'm going to go ahead and use that all over my lid space to set it and also brighten the area. The next shade that I'm going in with is the shade Latte, and I'm using this as my first transition shade on a Sigma E40 brush. You guys will see that when I first initially put the brush onto my lid, I am placing the brush in the center of my crease because that's where the brush is going to put the most pigmentation of color. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start blending it from that center point to the inner corner, and then I'm going to be winging it out to the outer corner. And you guys can see that I'm extending it out a little bit in the outer corner to kind of create a little bit of a cat eye because I want to elongate my eyes and make them look more lifted. The next shade I'm taking is called Friend Zone, and I'm taking it on a Sigma E25 blending brush, and I'm first starting the shade on the outer corner of the eye, and I'm blending it just a little bit lower down from the first shade into the crease and into the inner corner. So you guys can see I'm using a very light hand as I'm blending out this shade, but again, I'm starting off the most pigmentation in the outer corner of the eye, and then when I have nothing left on the brush pretty much after doing this whole blending process, I'm going to take this out also and wing it out just slightly in the outer corner as well. Next, I'm going to have a little bit of fun with color. I'm taking the shade Hopscotch, and I'm taking that on a different E40 brush to the one that we used originally, and I'm going over a little bit of that crease work that we did. I just wanted to add a little bit of this purple to be peeking out behind the lid shade that we're going to be putting. It just adds a really fun, very subtle pop of color, and it's just the most beautiful shade, and I really love that the color really does show on the lid. It doesn't look different than it does on the pan and on the eye. It really does add such a beautiful lavender periwinkle shade peeking out on the outside of this eye look. For the lid shade, I'm taking the shade Shimma, and I am going to be placing this all over my lid space with this Zoeva brush. I forgot the exact number, but I will have it listed in the description box below. It was part of a brush set, but what I'm doing is I am taking it first starting from the inner corner of my eye, and then I'm kind of using like small back and forth motions to kind of cut the crease just in that front part to make a nice, very smooth, seamless line, and then I'm covering the lid space. Next up, to deepen the outer corner, I'm taking the shade Concrete Jungle on a Sigma E25 brush, and I am just kind of pushing down the color in that outer corner. Then I'm very slightly blending it upward into the crease and into the other shadow that we have on the lid, and then I'm very slightly winging it out to create that beautiful cat eye shape in the outer corner. But basically, you do kind of want to push this color on the outer corner so that it blends into the lid color that we put. That's a very easy way to blend two colors together, is to kind of push them on top of each other and kind of layer them up. Moving on to the face, I'm using this new product by Loreal. This is the Glotion, and I have the shade Medium, and I'm just going to be using this as a primer underneath my foundation, and I'm blending that out with my Morphe M436 brush. For foundation today, I'm going in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation in the shade Tawny, and I'm blending that out with a Sigma Kabuki brush. This one is the F84 Angled Kabuki. For cream contour today, I'm actually going to be using this foundation stick by Lancome. This is the Longwear foundation stick in 420 Bisque, and I'm going to be blending that out with my Sigma Flat Angled Kabuki brush, and I'm just going to be placing this in areas that I want to sculpt and add definition. For my nose contour, I've been doing it slightly differently. You guys will see that I only place the product up until about halfway up my nose where I do have a bump on one side, and then I blend that out with my P88 brush by Sigma, and again I'm only blending up the product to that point where I have the bump, and then I'll take it right in the top parts of my nose where it's going to be connecting up to my brow, and I'll blend in a little bit of a shadow there too, and that just to me adds a little bit more straightness. I'm still playing around with it, but that's the best that I've liked my nose contour so far. For concealer, I'm taking my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Light Medium Neutral, and I'm just placing this right underneath my eyes, and then I'm going to take a little bit on the center of my nose. I like to do a small dot on the tip and then a line in the center, and then I will highlight my chin and my Cupid's bow as well, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with my damp beauty blender, and I am going to take the concealer nice and tight to the shadow work that I have going on in the outer corner just to clean that up and make a nice sharp line. To set that all in place, I'm taking my Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder on my Beauty Blender, and I'm going to be setting underneath my eyes. You guys can see here that I'm really trying to only place the powder where I want to be set, and that is literally very, very close to my under eye area, and I'm trying not to take it too close to where I'm going to be putting my powder highlight later, and I am going to be setting in my smile lines around my nose and in the center of my forehead. Without adding any extra powder to the brush, I'm taking my Sigma Spotlight Duster brush, and I am just going to be setting very lightly the rest of my face so that when I go in with my powder bronzer, which today I'm using the Bronze Goddess by Estee Lauder, the powders won't skip because the area is tacky. So you do want to make sure that you just very, very lightly set that area, and that is what I did by not adding any extra powder to that brush because I do have powder in it from previous times that I have done my makeup. So now I'm just quickly going to be bronzing up the perimeter of my skin to add some color and set that cream contour. Next, to add a bit of a shadow, since the last powder bronzer that we used was a lot warmer, I'm taking my Too Faced Milk Chocolate de Soleil bronzer on this Real Techniques brush, and I'm just adding that right into the hollows of my cheekbones, on my temples, and then I'm going to switch to a NARS Ita brush, and I am going to use it to add a little bit of a shadow on my nose, and again to set that cream contour that we put on earlier. For highlight today, I'm taking this one by Dose of Colors and their collab with Desi and Katy in the shade Fuego on my Anastasia Beverly Hills A23 brush, and I am just hitting the tops of my cheekbones, and then I'm going to connect that up to my brow bone as a brow bone highlight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight a couple other places of the face. I'm going to take a small brush and I am going to be highlighting my nose. This one is a blending brush from Luxie Beauty, and I'm just going to put a small little dot of highlighter on the tip of my nose, and then I'm going to leave a little bit of space and create a line on the bridge. I'm also going to put a small amount on my Cupid's bow, and I'm going to highlight the inner corners as well. To finish up the lower lash line, I'm first going to take this shade Chit-Chat, which is a beautiful periwinkle shimmer, and I'm going to be taking that on this smaller domed brush from Sonia Kashuk. This was a holiday set from years ago, and I'm just going to be smudging this out on the lower lash line and just extending it out slightly so that it can connect to the colors that we have on the lid. And then to blend that out even further and without taking any extra product on the brush, I'm taking the brush that we used with that charcoal gray shade in the outer corner earlier, and I'm just going to be blending those two colors together so that you don't see where one ends and the other begins. And then to deepen that up even more, I'm taking the shade Boo Berry, which is a beautiful matte denim blue, on a Sigma pencil brush, and I'm just placing this on the outer corner of the lash line to add a bit more dimension. Then as a last step on the eyes, I'm taking a black shade from my Loreal Pro Original palette on the upper lash line, and I'm creating a very, very subtle smoked out winged liner with the powder shadow. And this creates such a beautiful cat eye shape to the eye without being too intense or too dark or too harsh because it is done with a black shadow. And I'm using this small detailed smudger brush by Sigma to achieve that look. For lips today, I'm using this one by Dose of Colors. This is their liquid lipstick in Stone. And for mascara, as always, I'm using my L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. And if you want to be notified every time that I upload, then go ahead and click the little bell right down there. It'll say the word subscribe, and then there will be a little bell, so make sure that you hit both of them so that you never miss an upload. And hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.